A varied acting career, a national award, a colourful life that keeps her in the glossies. I thought my guest had seen it all, done it all and said it all. But no, there were glimpses of a strong woman who lives and survives on her terms. Raveena Tandon. Hi, Raveena. Lovely to have you here.
Thank you, Simi.
You are looking gorgeous.
Thank you.
Absolutely stunning.
So are you.
No. How do you do it?
I should be asking you that secret. You've held it quiet for so long, you better tell us.
You know, the first time I met you, I was in complete awe of you.
I don't believe that.
I promise.
Why don't I believe that?
I promise you.
When was that?
We were both judges at the MTV Awards or something. Do you remember that day?
You think I can forget that day? Gosh.
And you went all alone to your car after the function was over, and these rowdies, they came and acted fresh with you.
Yeah.
And you beat them up single-handedly.
No, I did. Let me admit that. No, I didn't really beat them up, but I sort of managed, yeah.
You bashed them up.
I didn't bash them up.
You did. I mean, I was speechless with awe.
Actually, I was quite in a state of shock. But
you punched him.
I did punch him back. Yes, I did. I'm like,
good for you.
I guess self-defense comes in, you know, as a reflex very instantly, and I had to do that. So.
Well, that's the first image I had of Raveena.
Ouch.
Gutsy and unafraid.
Ah.
But tell me, are there many Raveenas?
No, there aren't many. But yes, I can adapt to certain circumstances and certain situations pretty well. I've learned to, actually.
Well, anyway, I hope I get to meeting the other Raveenas tonight.
Ouch. Okay.
Life's been good to you recently?
It has been nice. It has been easier. It has been a smoother ride since recent times.
You've won a national award.
Yes.
You're doing exciting films.
Yes.
You're at a high point in your career today. Is this what you wanted always from life?
To be very honest, I never thought ever that I would do movies.
You didn't?
I did never ever grow up thinking or standing in front of the mirror and saying, my God, I'm going to be a heroine one day, or I'm going to be an actress one day. And it just sort of happened.
You didn't like attention in the early stages of your life, did you?
Not really, no.
Why?
I was quite an introvert. I don't know, it was maybe different kind of complexes. I used to bite my nails. I always had a pretty face, but I was always on the plump side, which I yet am.
You still think you're plump?
With the regular standard of seeing girls these days, most of them look anorexic to me, but they're all so thin. And
you are also so
I've got to work out a little more now.
No, you are so thin, you can't get thinner.
I feel I'll always be conscious because I was plump in school and college, so I know how it is to be.
Me too.
Yeah. That I don't believe. I've seen your earlier movies. You've never been plump.
I was very plump.
No, you've never ever been plump.
All of us who managed to stay slim are the ones who were fat at one time. And we still think we're fat, you see. We carry this with us.
Yeah, so I think that makes us a little more extra conscious than the rest of our friends who've always taken their being slim for granted.
So how did you transform yourself into this apparition?
Should we say that in the growing up years, men make a difference? No, but honestly, there was... I had this crush on this friend of my brother. He used to live in the same building. I used to sit on the terrace and listen to Pankaj Udas ghazals and everything. Please, when I was about 14, you know, he used to go to college out and I used to wait for him to come back. And one day he came home and I was like waiting on the steps and he was climbing up to my brother's room. And that was the first time he's ever done that to me. And he just looked at me and he said, "So, how are you?" I said, "I'm fine." And he pulled my one plait and he said, "Moti, how are you?" And I was like, my God, I want to smash his face. It was like, yeah, sure, I'll show you one day, you know.
But I got to get thin.
And I was like, okay, now you just see. And I started walks and going to the beach and everything. And when he came back, I was like about 16 or 17. And that was the first time he asked me out on a date. But unfortunately, by the time I was about 3 inches taller than him. So I was like, oops, I'm sorry. At least I could lose the weight. But what you going to do about your height? So that's quite a funny story. It was pretty sweet, actually.
You were in Mithibai College,
Mithibai, yes.
and then after that you did a bit of modelling, and you joined Prahlad Kakkar's Genesis
That's
advertising
right,
company.
And I learned a lot in those days, just being on my own.
Meaning like how?
Meaning like, you know, you're so protected when you're in school and you have your dad's driver dropping you to school and picking you up from school and stuff like that, and suddenly you're exposed to traveling by buses and, you know, some dirty old man is leching at you or trying to do something. And there have been like real life heroes whom I've actually seen. You know, I was traveling by bus once and I was just out of school, so I was yet very, very shy. And this old man came and sat next to me on the bus, and he just tried to keep pushing me into the corner. And there was this one young man, I think he must be in college or something, and he kept watching. And before the bus reached Santa Cruz station, I used to take a 231 to Santa Cruz station. And he just got up and just caught that old man by the collar and said, "Kya kar rahe tum bachchi ko?" You know, just because that poor child is not saying anything, you're doing this. And he bashed him up and all. And I was so embarrassed. I was really, really so embarrassed that I had like tears smarting in my eyes. And I got down at the bus stop and I, you know, quickly went and I walked off. And today I turned back and realized the least I could have done is at least thank that man. With these things, it made me a little more, you know, bolder probably, that no, I should learn to stand up for myself. And the next time, well, let anyone try doing that to me now, you know, or if I ever see that to anybody now, you know, I will definitely not stand up for it.
So when you're working with Prahlad Kakkar and you're at that stage of your life, how did you see your life then?
I always thought, yes, like I've seen a very happy marriage with my parents and things like that. I always was brought up with the, you know, thing of, okay, one day I'll be of age, I'll meet my Mr. Right and I'll be settled and I'll have kids and things like that. But a very cliched line that life, you know, happens to you while you're sitting back and planning other things. That's exactly what happened to me. And that's exactly what happened with my films as well. I started getting a lot of offers, and initially I just kept saying no.
So what got you round into films? I mean, how did you agree to do this Patthar Ke Phool with Salman? Was he a favorite or something?
Well, no, not mine, but yes, all my friends in college definitely were like, my God, you're being offered a film with Salman Khan and you don't want to do it. And I was like, listen, but I don't want to do movies, you know. So my friends would be, please say yes, we'll only come and hang out with you at the shoot, please say yes. So it was like, I said yes, and the next day I was shooting.
So with that, you stepped into your career, and you also stepped onto a roller coaster.
Right.
You have said, I've seen heaven and hell in this industry.
It's not this industry. I would not blame this industry.
Okay.
I've seen heaven and hell right here. I don't mean the industry.
You've been here 11 years? But you left films for 2 years, didn't you?
Yes, I did. It was a voluntary decision, actually.
Why did you do that?
I was engaged to somebody I knew, and I thought I will give up. I mean, this is what I had wanted all along, to lead a very, very normal life.
So you quit for your emotional reasons?
Not emotional reasons. I was engaged to be married.
You didn't wait to quit after getting married. Why did you quit in advance?
Well, that'll be putting a lot of people in a spot. But no, I did quit in advance was because we did think that, you know, the last day of your shooting when we'll go ahead and get married and things. And
you didn't give up films on a hope from your side that it would lead to marriage and settling down?
I don't think an engagement is hope. I would treat it as much more seriously than just hope.
You gave it up for a commitment?
I did give it up for a commitment, yes.
Raveena, your friends, your close friends have told me that there actually was a marriage ceremony on the 19th of April 1995 at your farm where both families attended.
How come I wasn't there?
So are you saying there was never a marriage ceremony?
No, what was a very, very elaborate engagement ceremony with the Pandit doing the pujas and everything, with his whole family flying down from Delhi as well, my family flying down from Delhi, and one of their elders had put in a red dupatta on my head. I guess that was mistaken to be a wedding, which was not.
So there was no wedding.
There was no wedding.
But he did want you to give up films.
Yes, he did say that the last day of your shoot and we'll go ahead. In fact, even when I restarted my career, there were a lot of times when he did say that even now, give up your career and we'll get married. And much later, like I'm talking about when the problem started and everything. And I remember the last time when he said that, and I said, you know, once in my life I chose you over my career, but I'm sorry, this time I think I'm going to choose my career. Yeah. And that was it.
Why are women so ready to sabotage their careers?
It's not sabotage. It depends on how ambitious you are. Like I said, I was never ever very ambitious. I don't want to do this for the rest of my life.
I find this happens very often. You know, girls fall in love, and when they fall in love, they're ready to give up everything for love, for a relationship.
It's not for love. Even now, if I do settle down ever in life, I would like to, yes, A, cut down on my work. B, I would just like to be there for my husband and my kids. I mean, I want to be home when my kids come back from school. I want to be home when my husband comes back from work. I want to be there for my family. I try to be there for my parents as much as I can. I don't remember an instant when me and my brother have come back from school, or any day when we've come back from school, chucked our bags, run up the stairs screaming, "Mummy, Mummy," and my mom not being there at the top of the stairs. It would have been a vacuum for us if she would be out. I don't remember any day which has gone by which that ever happened. I've had a rock-solid upbringing, and I would love to do that same for my kids and my family as well.
So when you decided that you wanted to get married and you wanted to settle down, you returned all the signing amounts to all the producers?
Yes, I had. I'd actually said no to very big films.
When did you realize that you'd made a mistake? When did the veil drop?
I think 6 months after the engagement.
Okay.
6 months after we got engaged, everything just started going. And yet I thought, no, you know, I'll give it my best. I'll give it my best because whatever, to a certain extent, I feel that every relationship needs adjustment, needs compromise. And you know, I tried to make it work, Maybe to a certain extent it was also my pride because I had given up so much for that relationship.
That's true.
You know, a little bit of the ego and a little bit of pride, which today I can stand up and say because it doesn't hurt anymore. Yeah. You know, to a certain extent it doesn't hurt that much so. But at that point, yes, it was my pride, it was my ego, it was the hurt that no, I'm going to make this relationship work because I have given in so much to it. I can't just chuck it up. And for me, an engagement is not frivolous. I take it very seriously. I take my commitments seriously. And I try to make it work till a certain limit where I just thought that I can't just do it anymore.
Because at one stage you must have felt I've lost everything in sense of...
At a certain stage I did not have a career and I did not have a personal life as well. Yeah. I did not know where I was going. I did not know what to do. And those are the times in your life where you can go anyway. Either you just go higher or you just regress. You just, you know, go completely haywire.
What do you feel went wrong?
Well, I would never blame just one person in a relationship going wrong. I think maybe, you know, maybe just two people are not compatible after a certain while. Maybe what he thinks was right, I did not think it was right at all.
Meaning right like how?
I don't know, it's just that... maybe I do expect a lot more loyalty in a relationship than normal people, so maybe that was something which I was expecting too much.
Do you think you were wrong to expect it?
No. That's why I thought I was right and he thought I was wrong.
Were there red flags? Were there warning signs all along the way?
Not really. I think when we met we were very good friends and I think we should have continued being very good friends. And I'm not saying the cliched form of good friends. If I'm having some, you know, a relationship with somebody, I have the guts to stand up and say so. In fact, the first time when he asked me out beyond a line of being good friends, I said, sorry, I'm not into flings and affairs and relationships. And he just turned around and said that, why do you think I just want to have an affair with you? I want to, you know, you're the kind of girl I want to marry. So I said, do you know what you're saying? He said, yeah, I'm going to go and talk to your dad tomorrow. Oh. And I was like, are you serious? And I thought maybe this is how it, you know, should happen. And I have seen a great marriage happen with my parents. So I was never once even cynical or even had a doubt about it. And we went and asked my dad, and his parents came over and spoke to my dad, and my dad found out things about him, and at that time everything was just superb. He was this amazing, wonderful person I knew. And maybe he, you know, I don't know, I've not met him in a long time, and I feel maybe he's as wonderful, he continues being so.
How did your parents feel when this happened to you?
Well, they've been very, very hurt because they felt that the person did not only fool me but fooled my entire family. We do not believe in about 100 engagements.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm brave enough to stand up and say so. I mean, whatever my parents say, you should not talk about it, and you should not, because, you know, you have to settle down ahead. But I just feel, hey, what's the big deal? It's just a broken engagement. I mean, I've seen people's marriages go kaput, you know. So it's not such a big deal.
He got married recently. Did that bother you?
I don't know whom you're talking about.
Okay. Fine. You're not friends. You don't meet each other.
Well, we are two mature people whenever we meet in public, and I mean, there are no hard feelings at all. Whenever we meet, we are fine with each other. I wish him all the best, absolutely.
I'm sure you agree. Things happen for the best. Look where you reached. Look where you are today.
Look at me.
Listen, you're doing lots of interesting films these days.
Yes.
You're also doing Tamil bilinguals. How can you act in Tamil? Would you please tell me?
The only bilingual that I have done is the one I did with Kamal Hassan right now. That was Tamil and Hindi, yes.
Do you remember any dialogues?
Yeah.
In Tamil?
Yeah. There's no dialogue. I'll just say, if I had to tell you, like, my God, what are you saying? I'd be like, can't do this. Okay, I'd be like, Ayyo ma, enna solringe?
Raveena, I believe 5 years ago or a few years ago, you adopted 2 girls.
Yes, I did. About 8 years ago.
Then they weren't babies.
No, they weren't babies. One was about 8 years old and one was about 10.
And they weren't sisters.
They are sisters.
How did you decide that you wanted to adopt children?
Well, I just felt that they deserve a better life than what they were going through or what they were seeing. I just heard these horror stories about the younger one. She was really being mistreated. And I was like, my God, you can't let a child go through that. And that's what just made me decide that, can I, like... I've always been like that since the 8th standard. Actually, my mom's been working for this orphanage in Mud. And I used to go with my mom. Since I was a child, I would always pick up babies and tell my mom that, Mom, let's take this baby home. She's so sweet, yeah. I always used to do that. My mom used to be, no, we'll come here and visit her again, but you can't take her home. And that's when I guess I realized that today I can make a difference to someone's life. And I just went and picked up that girl, and one was in Goa. I had her flown down because I wanted the sisters to be together. They had been separated.
That's an amazing thing to do.
You know, a lot of people tell me it's an amazing thing to do, but believe me, it's not really difficult.
How old are they now?
My younger one is 14. The older one is 17. Those two are my best friends today.
Are they?
And it is beautiful. When I come back from shooting, they're there awake for me, you know, whatever time. They'll be like, please knock and wake us up, please knock and wake us up. It might be 2 or 3, whatever. It's very amusing because they'll be like, are your feet paining? Is this foot paining? Did you dance too much? Did you do this? What do you have? Do you want to have a glass of milk? So concerned, and it's amazing to have daughters, yeah.
They give lots of love, don't they?
Lots, and they'll force, you know, me on the bed and they'll say, please lie down, and one will sit on with my right leg and one will sit with the left, and they'll be like, it must be hurting, no, you must have worn heels and dance, and they'll keep pressing. I'm like, no, I don't, my feet are not hurting and they're not paining. And they'll keep pressing my feet, and then I'll get the whole day's gossip as to what happened in college, what happened in the building, what happened with their friends.
And what do they call you?
There was an occasion, a ceremony in the family recently, and one of the ladies came and asked, so whose daughter are you? And she took her father's name, and then she realized that nobody was registering, you know, and I walked in at that moment, and she said, hers, you know, and that made me feel so big, you know, it just made me feel so wonderful. And I was like, yeah, I said, these are my girls. I mean, these things really touch me, you know, because actually I'm not, and they do know that.
Okay.
Generally, we had this little problem as to what they would
what
call
should
me,
they call you?
Now they do call me Bua, and they call my brother Chacha.
Well, they're very blessed.
They're wonderful children.
You took this decision all on your own without your parents or anything?
Yes, I did. In fact, I did face a little from my family. To a certain extent, they were like, what when you are going to start your family? What when
that's
you're going to
right,
settle down?
exactly.
And I said, well, I'm responsible for them. They'll come with me wherever I am, or whoever accepts me has to accept me with them. Obviously, I'm going to see them get married and settle down someday as well. They're not going to be with me forever. So till then, yes, I'm their parent and guardian, and I'm proud of that.
You want your own kids someday.
Yes. Well, that is when that happens.
And you have to find a good husband.
That comes with it, yes.
That comes first, actually.
That comes first, actually, yes.
But tell me, why is it so difficult for actresses who are as beautiful, successful, rich, intelligent, talented to find a good husband?
I wish I could answer that question. But I guess the right person has to come along the right time.
Well, the news stories are about Rahul Dravid and you.
Ouch, yeah. I've heard so, yes. Yes, I've heard so.
And there's nothing there, is there?
Well, I wish I'd really had known him well as much as the magazines would let people to believe. But I've just met him a couple of times and that's about it.
But tell me something. Being a sex symbol, you're seen as a sex symbol today.
Thank you.
Does it ever backfire?
Yes, it does backfire. It does. In fact, I was talking to one of my friends that day and he said, you know, Ravs, when a man sees you for the first time and he's, you know, just thinking, oh my God, how hot she is or how good looking or how attractive she is. And I was like, my God, are you trying to tell me that I come across as I'm someone, you know, fast or something? And he's like, no, 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 you're not, because someone should see you at home, you know, being with your parents or being with your kids, because it's what is here is not what I am within, actually.
So you see, there are many Raveenas. So what lessons have been learned?
So much, no?
Really? Like what?
Like, I don't, I think you just have to be a little more careful, a little more wary, not just, okay, let's go get engaged kind of a thing. Take your time and just be a little more selfish to a certain extent. If today someone comes up to me and says, you know, oh, give up everything and let's get married tomorrow. I say, excuse me, marry me first, then I'll give up everything.
That's right.
Yeah. I think I would do that now.
Raveena, for all that you've been through, no one ever says that, oh, we saw Raveena and she looked a bit depressed and, you know, down in the dumps. You always, you know, sort of brush yourself up, pick yourself up and move on. How do you bounce back?
You know, I always say this, it's one of my favorite quotes, that I laugh the loudest when I'm at my saddest. I don't know why, but I have always done that. If you see me laugh like really loud and really having a good time, that means I'm at my worst.
Well, I just wish that you would continue to work like you don't need the money, dance like no one is watching, and love like you've never been hurt.
But that's what I have been doing. I don't know whether you do believe that or no.
I do.
That's exactly what I have been
and
doing.
I have seen other Raveenas this evening. Thank you so much for coming over today.
Thanks a
I've
lot.
enjoyed
It's been my
talking to you.
pleasure.
Thank you for this wonderful.